Hello everyone, CM Freeze here, and today I'm going to be bringing you a very special video. Today I'm going to be ranking every single Monday Night Football game in the 2024 NFL season. Now, I already made a video for Sunday Night Football. Sunday Night Football is definitely the easiest of all the primetime days. I would say Monday night is the next easiest, so that's why I'm doing that. Also, who really cares about Thursday Night Football? That's definitely the ugly red-headed stepchild of the family in terms of the primetime games. Monday Night Football is interesting this year because they have 4 Mondays worth of doubleheaders. I think they've only ever done like 2 in the past. But this year, week 3, 4, 7, and 15 are all Monday Night Football doubleheaders. So that brings us to a grand total of 21 Monday Night Football games, even though there is only 17 weeks. As you can see on the left, that is every single Monday Night Football game for you. I'm ranking this based on 2 things. I'm ranking this based on how good I think the game's going to be and any storylines going into this game. There could be a game that's against 2 teams that aren't that good, but the storylines are going to get me to watch. I am going to be judging this based on how good of a game it's going to be and how likely I'm going to watch it. There's a lot of things going into this. I hope that the list makes sense the longer it goes on. I'm basically ranking on how good of a game I think it's going to be, and I'm also including storylines as well. Anyways, guys, without further ado, coming in at number 21, the worst Monday Night Football game has to be the Washington Commanders versus the Cincinnati Bengals for me. Cincinnati Bengals are home. I think they're just going to destroy the Commanders. This game is happening early in the season, I believe week 4 or week 5. I think it's week 4. Bengals are just going to absolutely kill them. The Commanders, Jaden Daniels might be starting. He probably is going to get cooked alive. Commanders defense, not that good. I just think the Bengals are just going to torch the Commanders. I don't think this is going to be a good game at all. Most of the games are between 2 good teams. I just think the Bengals are a couple tier levels above the Washington Commanders. Plus no storylines as well. Coming in at number 20 is the Giants versus the Steelers. This could be a very boring game here in week 8. Who knows how the Giants offense is going to look this season? Last year it was abysmal. This year they have Daniel Jones back, which isn't saying much, but it's at least better than what they had to roll out last season. They got Malik Neighbors now. Andrew Thomas is back. But that offensive line is still absolutely abysmal. We'll see what happens against that Steelers defense. But then the Steelers offense isn't that good. They got Russell Wilson, Arthur Smith, and Justin Fields out there. Plus only George Pickens really to throw the ball to. They didn't really dress wide receiver this season. Who knows what's going to happen? This could be 2 very bad offenses going up against 2 very good defenses. And this could just be an absolute boring game to watch. That'll probably fall asleep because it's like 7-6 or some shit like that. Coming in at number 19 in week 13 is the Cleveland Browns versus the Denver Broncos. Now, when I originally looked at this schedule, when I looked at all 21 games, I thought this game would be much higher, but there are a lot of really good games against 2 equally matched opponents. This just does not happen to be one of them. Who knows where the Broncos are going to be at in this season? The only thing I for sure know is that the Browns have a good defense. They have Myles Garrett. They got a lot of young guys around there. That's about it. Who knows how good either of their offenses are going to be? The Browns don't have Joe Flacco anymore, who balled out for them, and instead have to go back to Deshaun Watson, who hasn't looked good at all since the 24 incidents that he did. Denver Broncos sucked last year. Now they're starting Bo Nix, a rookie. Who knows how Bo Nix is going to do? This is a game that just has too many variables. All I know is that the Browns defense is good. Also, not to mention, there's no storylines in this game as well. So this game isn't as bad as the other 2, just every single game's going to be better than this one. Coming in at number 18 is Titans at Dolphins. Now, I honestly thought about putting this higher up, but on paper the Dolphins should kill the Titans. But let's remember something. Last season, Monday Night Football, I think it was week 14, Titans at Dolphins. The Titans were down 27-13 with under 4 minutes left and scored a touchdown, went for 2, got a stop, and then scored another touchdown to win 28-27, pulled off a 15-point comeback. I believe it was the first team almost ever to lose when up by 14 or more with under 4 minutes. It was absolutely insane. One of the biggest choke jobs we'd ever seen. I'm pretty sure the Dolphins literally had a 99.9% chance to win the game, and they ended up blowing it, and they lost it to the Titans. So this is a revenge game. I know this one's in week 4. This is a week 4 revenge game, and this is going to be, this could be very interesting. Now, on paper, the Dolphins should smoke them, but there is a big storyline going into this game, and it happened on Monday Night Football last season, too. Number 17 here is Saints at Kansas City, and I'm also going to skip ahead, too, because number 16 is the Bucks at Kansas City. I don't know why the NFL is just having the NFC South teams play the Kansas City Chiefs. Like, the Falcons have to play them on Sunday night, and they get the Bucks and the Saints on Monday night. Chiefs are home for both those games as well. I think the Chiefs are going to smoke them. Honestly, I think the Chiefs are going to smoke the Bucks, and I think the Chiefs are going to smoke the Saints. I don't really see either of these teams giving them a chance. I put the Bucks one above the Saints just because at least it was a Super Bowl matchup a couple years ago, so there's that storyline to it. I just don't think the NFC South, like every single NFC South team in my eyes, is like a 7 to 10 to 10 to 7 range. Like they're not good. Like they got a high floor but a low ceiling. All the NFC South teams are right there at like a bang average team. You're putting up a bang average team at home in Arrowhead against the back-to-back defending Super Bowl champs. It's not going to go well for either of these teams. Maybe you'll be competitive in one of them, but I don't think so. Then number 15, Ravens at Bucks. Basically, again, same exact scenario as the last two games. You're taking a bang average team against one of the best teams in the league. Ravens and Chiefs should be the two best teams, at least on paper. They're the two best teams. The Ravens are absolutely stacked. Derrick Henry, phenomenal offense. They could definitely maybe use another wide receiver, but you still got Rashad Bateman, who could maybe develop. You have Zay Flowers, who did really good for him last year. Like I said, you probably could use another wide receiver if you're Baltimore, but now you have Derrick Henry alongside Lamar Jackson. Just that offense is really high-powered. That defense is really high-powered. It's at the Bucks, so the Bucks have a little bit more of an advantage than when they were when they were at the Chiefs, but not that big of an advantage at all. Plus, no storylines this game. Coming in week 2, my Atlanta Falcons at the Eagles. Now, I'm going to be dead serious here. I think the Falcons are about to get steamrolled. Kirk Cousins on Monday Night Football. We all know how that goes. I think he finally got his first Monday Night Football win literally last season. Maybe it was a year before that. But I think he's like 1-11 on Monday Night Football. At Eagles, and let's not remember, the Eagles had a Friday game week 1, so the Eagles have 2 extra days rest than the Falcons do. This is kind of bullshit, actually. Week 2, Falcons go at Eagles, where the Eagles have 2 extra days rest, and then they play on Monday and then play Sunday night against the Chiefs. So the Eagles get 2 extra days rest against them, and then the Chiefs get 1 extra day rest against them in week 2 and week 3, going up against arguably the 2 of the top 5 best teams in football. And we have less days rest than them. Could be an absolute brutal start to the season for the Atlanta Falcons. I think they're going to get steamrolled here. I really do. At Eagles, we do not fare well against the Eagles. The Eagles have our number. The Eagles are a team that have dominated the Falcons over the years. Could not tell you the last time we've beat the Eagles, and I'm being dead fucking serious when I say that. Could not tell you the last time we've beaten the Eagles. It's at least been 6+ seasons. It has been brutal. And I think we're going to get steamrolled here too. Number 13, week 1 Monday Night Football, Jets versus 49ers. Who allowed this? I understand that there's storylines here. Oh, Aaron Rodgers is finally coming back and he's playing his team that he really wanted to go to for the 49ers who passed up on him. I get it. But the Jets at 49ers week 1, you're just begging Aaron Rodgers to tear his ACL again. The Jets still have not the best offensive line in the world. They've upgraded it. They've upgraded their offensive line, but literally week 1, prime time, Monday night, the Jets' offensive line is getting put to the test against arguably one of the best defensive lines in the league with Nick Bosa on the other side. I actually don't know who their edge rusher is now that they let Chase Young walk, but who cares? Nick Bosa's on the other side, one of the 5 best edge rushers in the league. They also have really good defensive tackles as well. So, who knows exactly what's going to happen here? Jets could absolutely get slaughtered, and it's in San Francisco as well. This could be a very bad game for the Jets. Now, there is storylines here, and it is week 1, first Monday Night Football game of the season. It's going to be a great time, but that's why I'm putting it here at below average, just because the Jets could get killed. Coming in at number 12 is a game I actually really wanted to put higher on this list. Just I couldn't. There's so many good Monday Night Football games. Chargers at Cardinals. I think this is two teams that are very evenly matched. You have the team that had the 4th overall pick going up against the team with the 5th overall pick. And the team with the 4th overall pick has the home court advantage as well, Monday night. Chargers with a completely revamped team. They had to shed a lot of contracts. They got Joe Alt, they got Gus Edwards and J.K. Dobbins. They have switched to now a running style offense. They got better in the trenches. This Chargers team is completely different. Same with the Cardinals. The Cardinals are a different team too. They didn't really make too many defensive signings in free agency, but they got a lot of rookies, a lot of high quality rookies. It's later in the season. I think it's week 8 maybe. Week 7, week 8. So their rookies will have some time to develop. Marvin Harrison Jr. should be a baller by then for Kyler Murray. This could be a very interesting game against two teams that are very evenly skilled. Coming at number 11 is Bills at Jets. The Bills are going to be so difficult to predict this year. Who knows truly how good the Bills are going to be? They had to get rid of a lot on their team. Their defense got gutted. Their offense, they lost Gabe Davis and Stephon Diggs, two of their best wide receivers. Diggs was their best wide receiver. Diggs is a top 10 wide receiver in the league, and they had to get rid of him. Who knows what's going to happen with the Buffalo Bills, man? They lost a lot of talent. They're going at Jets. Now, this is going to be a divisional game. It's going to be a quality matchup. But I don't know, man. These are just two very interesting teams to me. Coming in at number 10 is Jaguars at Bills. Again, another game against two teams who really knows how good they're going to be. Jacksonville, on paper, has a very, very good team this year. They made a ton of signings in free agency. Did lose out on Calvin Ridley, but they got Brian Thomas Jr. in the draft. Defensively, I know that they got Ark Armstead, which is a big signing for them. Jaguars went out and got pieces this offseason, and they could be very good if Trevor Lawrence plays like he did in year 2. Trevor Lawrence took a weird step back last year. Who knows how he's going to play? And again, the Bills, who knows how they are going to play as well. This could be a very interesting game because these two teams could be a lot more evenly skilled than how they were last year. Coming in at number 9 is the Raiders and the Falcons. I don't know why I put Raiders at Falcons right now that I'm looking at in the slideshow. The Falcons are the home away team. It is Falcons at Raiders for this game. I think this is a game between two teams that are very evenly skilled and matched. Or two teams that are very evenly skilled. Falcons, who knows how they're going to be. Falcons have a good offense, but a bad defense, where the Raiders have a bad offense, but a good defense. At least that's how they were last year. That's how it probably still could be this year as well. So we're looking at two teams who, on one side of the ball, has their better teams, Falcons offense, Raiders defense, and then you flip it, Raiders offense and Falcons defense. Raiders should win this game. I truly believe that. I don't think the Falcons defense is going to be able to keep up when the Raiders defense is going to be able to make stop against the Falcons offense. Who knows, though? I think this is a great matchup against two teams that are evenly matched. Should be very fun, and it's later in the season, too. So both these teams could be competing for a wildcard spot or a playoff spot. Coming in at number 8, Bengals at Cowboys. This should be a very, very interesting game. It's in week 14, so just like with the Atlanta Falcons and the Raiders last week, that's week 15. This could be a game that could have huge implications. This could be a game for a wild card spot, hell, for a divisional spot. This could be a big-time game. Two high-powered offenses. Bengals have an underrated defense too, man. The Bengals do have an underrated defense. Cowboys, who knows how their defense is going to look without Dan Quinn. They lost a couple of pieces on that defense as well. This could be a very high-scoring game, and I'm all for it. This could be a 34-31 kind of game, or like a 28-24 kind of game. Could be a very good game with massive playoff implications. Coming in at number 7 is Bears at Vikings, another week 15 matchup. As you can tell, these later week matchups are against two really good teams and could have big playoff hopes on the line here. This could honestly be, the Packers are also in the division too, and the Lions. So who knows? The NFC North is stacked this year. Who knows how the NFC North is going to be? The Lions could be really good. Packers could be really good. Even the Vikings, if J.J. McCarthy isn't trash, the Vikings have a ton of weapons on that team. You got Justin Jefferson, T.J. Hawkinson, Aaron Jones now. Still have Jordan Addison from last season. A good offensive line. J.J. McCarthy comes out and balls. This Vikings offense can be lethal. Defense still sucks, but they are home, and they're going up against the Bears. Who knows how Caleb Williams is going to be. feel like the Bears should, on paper, be better than the Vikings, but we've said the Bears should be good for the last forever now, and they haven't been, so I won't believe it until I see it. Coming in at number 6 is the Seahawks at the Lions. Now, the last 2 years in a row now, the Seahawks and the Lions have played, and it's been a heavy offensive battle. For some reason, whenever the Seahawks and Lions go at it, the score's in the 30s for both teams. It's like a 38-31, 38-34 kind of game. This is going to be a high-scoring game, and I'm going to be all here for it. I love these high-scoring offensive duels. Both teams, like I said, they've played back-to-back years, and back-to-back years, it's been crazy amount of points. I'm expecting another really good game with a ton of points on both sides of the ball. Coming in at number 5 is Saints at Packers. I think these are two teams that are very evenly matched. I think the Packers do have a slight edge on the Saints, but this is Week 16, second to last Monday Night Football game. This could be a huge game for wildcard implications, or this could be a huge game for the division as well. Saints and Packers could be, if they lose this game, they could lose out on the division. This could be their, oh shit, if we lose this game, the division isn't ours. We only have a wildcard spot now. Hell, they could even be out of a wildcard spot too. This game could have a lot on the line for it against two evenly matched teams. Like I said, I think the Packers do have a slight edge on the Saints, just a little bit more well-rounded on both sides of the ball. But Saints could be fighting for a playoff spot, and they always seem to do really good in the later stretch of the season when fighting for that playoff spot. Coming in at number 4 is Ravens at Chargers. Now, on paper, the Ravens are a lot better than the Chargers, okay? Well, let's be real here. But it is at the Chargers. Los Angeles is home. And obviously, let's be real here. It's a battle of the Harbaugh brothers. That's exactly why this is primetime game. Also, let's not mention that the Chargers just hired former Ravens offensive coordinator to be their offensive coordinator and brought in a lot of Ravens players such as Gus Edwards and J.K. Dobbins. The Chargers are going to be implementing a Ravens-style offense into their system. So this isn't only a Harbaugh matchup, this is also a Ravens offense-style matchup as well. This could be a very good game because, like I said, the Chargers have brought in a lot of Ravens guys who know what they've been doing. Now, the Ravens could obviously take a different route. We'll have to see what happens, but it is a battle between the two Harbaugh brothers as well. Harbaugh just won a natty with Michigan, and now he's coming trying to beat his brother at home on Monday Night Football. I will be watching this game. My ass will be in a seat for this game. I can promise you that one. Coming in at number 3 is Dolphins at Rams. This might be one of the most evenly matched matchups in every single Monday night game we've seen. These are both teams that made it to the wild card spot last year. I think both of these teams were the 6th seed last year, if I'm not mistaken, and they both lost to the 3 seed. I think that's exactly what happened. These teams were both the 3 seed last year, and they both lost to the 6th seed. Rams lost to the Lions, Dolphins lost to the Chiefs. Perfectly even matched up on both sides of the ball. Rams now don't have Aaron Donald. We'll see how that goes. The Rams are getting a little bit older. Dolphins might have a slight advantage, but the Rams are home. The Dolphins are notorious for being really good at home and not so good on the road. So we'll see how the LA Rams can do. I think the Rams seriously do have a chance of winning this game, but this is just such an evenly matched game. It does get hurt a little bit because there isn't like a storyline going into this game like the Chargers and the Ravens game, and it's in the middle of the season too, so it also doesn't have that many playoff implications on it, but still, regardless, it's going to be a phenomenal game. Coming in at number 2, literally the next week, is Texans at Cowboys. I don't know if there's ever been a time in NFL history where two brothers have lined up alongside one another. But for example, like Trayvon Diggs and Stephon Diggs, with Stephon Diggs being a wide receiver and Trayvon Diggs being a corner. I don't know if we've ever seen that before, a brother-on-brother matchup. Obviously, the Manning brothers, Peyton and Eli, played against one another. I know that Clay Matthews has had family, like cousins. Obviously, the Watt brothers have gone up against one another, but they're both edge rushers, so on different sides of the ball. I don't know if we've ever seen a brother v. brother matchup like this before, wide receiver on corner. And I hope both of them are healthy. I really want to see a Diggs versus Diggs battle. I think that's going to be great. Not to mention both these teams have two really high-powered offenses. This could be a high-scoring game. This is a 34-31 kind of game. Cowboys are home, which I think they need because I think the Texans have a little bit of an advantage on them. But the Cowboys last year are literally perfect at home. Dak Prescott literally plays like an MVP when he's home. He plays like Josh Rosen when he's on the road. Don't understand it at all. Cowboys should be locked in. Dak Prescott is at home. This can be a phenomenal game. And finally, at number 1, Week 17, very last Monday Night Football game, Lions at 49ers. This is a rematch of the NFC Championship last season, where the Lions were up, I believe, by 3 scores. They were either up by 14 or up by 17, and they choked the lead. They lost the game against the 49ers. The 49ers came back and win. They ended up going to the Super Bowl, and the Lions are hungry for revenge. Week 17 too, so this could be a massive game. I think both these teams have a very good chance of winning their division. This could be for the number 1 seed. This honestly could be for the number 1 seed. We could see 2 12-3 teams duking it out for the number 1 seed in week 17. This will be a heavy-hitting matchup. There's no way that this isn't number 1. 2 high-powered teams. I really wish the Lions were home because I do think the 49ers are the better team here. Obviously, they won last season. But Dan Campbell and the Lions are going to be hungry for blood, and I will be 100% watching this game. Anyways, guys, thank you so much for watching. I kind of just did a brief analysis on every single game. I didn't want this to be like a 40-50 minute video. I was just kind of giving you my fun little rankings. I just wanted to do a fun little video, not really like to stretch too much about it. As always, please leave comments down below. Let me know if you agree or disagree with my list. Thank you guys so much for watching, and peace out.